Alex Holmes. He is the chair and CEO of MoneyGram. Alex, look, welcome to the program. We really like to have people on the show who are not taking advantage of this, but I would say a new kind of company that benefits from this new economy. Are your transactions up a lot at MoneyGram?
Yes, sir, they are. As a matter of fact, it's been quite a transition for this company over the last couple of years. We have seen a tremendous surge in digital transactions over the last 2 years, and really an incredible surge over the last quarter since the pandemic really set in. 106% growth last quarter in digital transactions, and about 27% of our total company transactions. So definitely have seen a tremendous increase as consumers, look for coronavirus safe ways to send and receive money.
I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. I like to write checks. Are my days as a check writer numbered?
My standing joke on that is I think you can continue to write checks, but the people in line behind you probably aren't going to appreciate it very much. But yeah, I think they probably are, and I think Corona is definitely another step towards that digitization. I think contactless payments, online digital payments, mobile type devices will continue to see an increase in utilization as we go forward all over the world, not just here in the U.S.
How long before we see the end of cash, notes and coins?
Yeah, that question's been out there for forever. I will tell you, cash still is the predominant form of payments anywhere in the world. It is, by far the most ubiquitous and liquid for anybody in a market anywhere in the world. That being said, I think the growth in digital has been absolutely tremendous. The World Bank, which is probably the foremost expert in terms of remittances and cross-border payments, says that this market will be 50% digital by 2022, and that was before the virus. So I certainly think that there will continue to be pressure on cash, but I think it will be around for quite a long time.
MoneyGram, well positioned. Chair and CEO Alex Holmes joins us. Thanks very much, Alex. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appropriate for XRP.
There's a lawsuit hanging over Ripple right now. A group of people are saying that XRP and Ripple are sort of tied together, and that XRP could be considered an unregistered security. What would you say to them?
Well, it's pending litigation, so I'll probably be a little bit muted on the topic. Suffice it to say, we don't think it has merit. These are people who didn't buy XRP from us. We also don't believe XRP is a security. I think, one of the poignant arguments in my point of view is, if I went back to the office and said to the team at Ripple, hey, we're shutting down, XRP trades on 130, 140 exchanges around the world. XRP would keep trading. So you're like, wait a minute. Okay, so if it's a security of what? It's not a security of Ripple. It doesn't give you the rights to dividends or ownership of Ripple, the company. We have shareholders of Ripple, right? We raised a Series A financing, a Series B financing, and we own a lot of XRP, but they're two separate things.
At the same time, we've seen recently Block One had the hammer come down on them from regulators. They were basically said that they were selling an unregistered security.
$24 million.
It's interesting you call that a hammer. They raised $4 billion, and they
it's a light hammer. It's a light hammer.
You and I would do a judgment.
Maybe it's a fly swatter.
Hammer.
Either way, so what's the difference between Block One and their token EOS versus what you guys are working on?
Well, I think one really important distinction is the XRP ledger existed before Ripple, the company. You can, it's a public blockchain. You can go back and see kind of transactions 0, 1, 2, 3. You can see when Ripple was incorporated in the Secretary of State in California. Ripple didn't create the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger had utility prior to Ripple's existence. Certainly we are an interested party in the success of the XRP ledger, for sure. We own a lot of XRP. But it's a little bit like saying, Exxon owns a lot of oil. That doesn't make oil a security. Exxon's clearly interested in how to, we can argue about the health of the, I'm not here to debate carbon emissions.
Climate crisis, you want to get into that?
This is an example I wanted to choose here, but suffice it to say, Exxon cares a lot because they have a lot of
people are now realize that the public blockchain was a mistake. They're trying to implement privacy on top of it. People are now concentrating on the environmental impact of proof of work and the like. So it's playing to our strength, and it's getting real this year. One thing I want to mention is the entire Italian banking system will be on Corda for interbank payments this year. Hundreds of millions of transactions will be transacted on Corda this year. So it is getting real. It's been 6 years. That feels like people.
Kenny, UBI, Universal Basic Income,
how would it work? How would you actually distribute the money? Because many people have been saying maybe electronic digital wallets could be the answer to this, but many people don't. Some of the poorest people in society who need it the most don't have access to banks or indeed at the same time the internet even.
That's a very good point, because what we're saying here with testing, not just testing some of this, but making it happen, it has to go hand in hand with what is today probably one of the greatest drivers of a new inequality, which is access to the internet. We've seen now that the pandemic has really pushed us into a virtual world, and those that do not have access, digital means, whether it's to access cash, to access education, new skills, are getting far left behind. So you're seeing a digital gap that's really growing, worryingly so. If I look at in our region, a country like, let's say, the Republic of Korea, over 90% have access to the internet. Then I look not that far away, let's say at Timor-Leste, and it's just over 3% of people have access to the internet. So for UNDP, a big push is to see if this can be supported as a public good, because there's a big difference between the inefficiencies of trying to provide something like a temporary basic income through old cash transfer means and doing it digitally. It's interesting, the UN Secretary General's report just came out on digital finance, and this was co-chaired by the head of UNDP, and one of the findings was that in public accounts, a government transaction, you can save about 40% per transaction. Just think of the efficiency gains in going through digital finance and hence digital wallets. So we've been experimenting with this, including in the Philippines and in other places.
Customers. And so we're seeing more momentum than we've ever had around using XRP to move this liquidity around the world. And so we couldn't really be happier about how that has played out in a world where there's still a lot, I think, of FUD, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about what's going on in crypto. This is a real use case solving a real problem for real customers.
Okay, so which banks right now are actually using Ripple?
We have signed up about over 200 banks around the world. Some of those banks just use our software to do that debit and credit, fiat to fiat, and some of them are using XRP in those flows. We have banks like Santander that we've been working with for years and are moving lots of volume through the Ripple's technology. And then, as I mentioned earlier, payment providers like MoneyGram or RIA or Asimov that are